Welcome to another Tech Help video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I am your instructor, Richard Rost. Today we're going to talk about making your database multilingual. We're going to set up your database so that your buttons, your labels, whatever other controls you want can flip from English to something else like French. Today's question comes from Elaine in Montreal, Quebec, one of my gold members. Elaine says, I've got workers in my office who don't all speak English, some speak French. Is there any way to have my form labels and buttons switch from one to the other? Well, yes, Elaine, it requires a little bit of coding, but we can do it. I lived most of my life in Buffalo, New York, right across the border from Canada, and so I know whenever you go over there, everything's in both English and French. So I could see this being very useful for you guys up there. Same thing on the other border. If you guys are in Texas, you got a lot of Spanish speaking. There's a lot of Spanish speaking folks here in Florida. So yeah, I can definitely see this would be useful. All right, before we get started, some prerequisites. First, we're going to make a value list combo box that's going to have a list of the languages in it, like English, French, Spanish, whatever. So if you don't know how to make a value list combo box, go watch this video now. Also, you'll need to know how to get a value from an open form, like forms, main menu F, a field name. So if you don't know how to do that, go watch this video. That's how you can get a value from a different form. We're going to need a little bit of VBA coding, no way around it, to do something like this. Yeah, to change labels and captions and properties like that on the fly. Yep, you got to use a little bit of VBA, but it's not scary. Don't worry about it. I'm going to show you everything you need to know. But if you've never done VBA programming before, go watch this, about 20 minutes long. It's on my website. It's on my YouTube channel. These are all free videos, by the way. I'll put links down below you can click on to go watch this stuff. You're going to need to know what an after update event is. Basically, when you change some value, like that combo box with a language in it, right? When you change that, it's going to fire an event off that does something else. So if you don't know what an after update event is, go watch this video. And finally, if you don't know what an if-then statement is, then go watch this video. Do you see what I did there, right? If you don't know what this is, then go watch this video. That's basically what an if-then statement is, right? Else, you can know. All right, so go watch any of those videos if you don't know what those topics are. But I'm going to show you pretty much everything you need to know in this video. But there's some background for you if you need it first. All right, let's get started. Okay, here I am in my Tech Help free template. This is a free database. You can download a copy off my website if you want to. You'll find instructions down below. Let's first add a combo box on our main menu. So when the user logs on, if they want to switch from English to French, they can just do that here. Now, if you've got user logons set up in your database, you could tie their language to a setting in their user table, and that way every time they log on, the database will just go into that language. If you want to learn how to do that and set up permissions and control your database with user logons and stuff and who has access to what, I do have a security seminar where I cover all that. But let's go ahead and create a combo box. I'll go to Design View. I'm going to open up my toolbox up here, find a combo box and just drop it right on the form somewhere. The little wizard stops up. This is a good wizard. And we're going to make a value list, a real simple list. I'm going to type in the values that I want. I'm going to put in here just one column, English and French. And if you want to add Spanish and whatever, you can put as many as you want in here. Okay. Next. What label would you like? Well, language. Right? And then finish. And there's my little combo box. Slide it over here. I'll make it match that one, make it the same size. Put the label over here. If you're going to do it, you got to do it. Take the time, do it right, right? If you're going to do it right. Yeah, okay, I can see. Let's make that white, and we'll right align it, and it's looking pretty good. Okay, let's open this guy's properties up. We're going to call this language. Now, normally, if I have a relational combo box where there's an ID hidden in there, I call it language combo. But since a value list combo box is treated just like a text box for the purposes of data. So if that box says English, the value in that box is English. So I'm just going to leave that language for now. I'm not going to call it language combo like I usually do. The reason why I use language combo if it's got an ID in there is because then the combo just reminds me that, hey, oh, there's a hidden ID that you can't see there. Couple settings I want to change under data. Limit to list, I want yes. That way the user can't just type in whatever they want. And I'm going to set allow value list edits to no. That way they can't change the list of items. If you want to learn more about how that works, go watch this video. Okay, I'm also going to set the default value when this guy opens to English. So when we start it up, it's defaulted to English. You can switch it to French. All right, save it, Control S, close it, open it back up again, and there's my little box. Okay, that's all. That's all we've done so far. We don't have anything in it yet. Okay, the next step is we have to make sure the stuff that we're going to change the caption properties of has good names. And if you've been a good little Access developer, all your buttons have names. If not, Alex will yell at you. But your labels might not all have names. Like if you look at the customer form, whenever you create a field in here, right, that's first name, but that's just whatever. Where's the thing here? That's just label 1, right? That's just label 23. And normally that's okay. I don't usually mind that, but that's because we don't normally do stuff with labels. We do stuff with their text boxes. They just come along for the ride. But if you're going to be changing the captions and stuff, you have to give those things good name. Yeah, sorry. You don't want to refer to it as label 23. I used to do that when I was a lazy young programmer, and it bites me in the behind to this day because I still got code in my database. It's like command 46, click, it does that. What's command for? Then I go figure out what command 46 is. So just if you're going to use it in code, then you want to give it a good name. Okay? That's my rule. If you're gonna learn from me, you got to follow Ricky's rules. I'm gonna make a list of these one of these days. I got a list of evil rules, things not to do. I got to make a good list of things to do. The best practices, right? Okay. So let's start with the main menu and just check the things that we want to change the value of. So these guys, these buttons should all have good names. That's customer list button, customer form button, customer contact button. I think we're going to leave you out for today, so I'm just going to delete you. Goodbye. The Hello World button is good. This is the main menu label. That's got a name. Okay. How about the Today Is label? That's label 15, right? Let's change that to Today Is label. All right. Yeah, technically this is current date label, but just today's label fine. Just stay, so you know what it is. You don't have to worry about it too much. And this is the language label. All right. I'm going to make this language. I don't like underscores. I know they're legal. I don't like them. Yes, I'm a C programmer from way back, and you use underscores for everything. But in Access, I like what's called camel case. Right, the little humps, meaning the capital letters in the middle there. Okay. All right, so we got the language label. We got Today Is label. And then we got a bunch of other buttons. So what we need to do is we need to say, okay, in the after update event for this box, when the person changes this language, you need to go through and change all these guys' caption property, right? That's the caption customer list. The label has a caption. That's all we're doing is we're changing captions. Okay? So we're going to click on this, and we all watch the after update video, right? Events, after update, ... Brings up my code window right down here. And I'm going to put in here if language, that's the value in the combo box, equals English, then we're going to fill in all the captions in English, and I'll put my else in here. Else, yep, else, and then end if, right? And then we'll do the French. Okay? If you have multiple, you could do this with as many languages if you want. You got Spanish, German, Klingon, whatever. You just have to put some else if statements in here. But we're just going to do 2 for class today. Okay? Put them all in. So we got main menu label dot caption equals main menu. We've got customer list button dot caption equals customer list. And I got the rest of them here. I'm going to copy and paste them. I'm not going to make you watch me sit here and type all this stuff in. Okay, there they are. Now, full disclosure, I do not speak French. I don't speak German. I don't speak Spanish. I speak English. That's it. I took Latin in high school. So I know like little bits and pieces of a bunch of different languages because, how everything's kind of based on Latin. And I have the Klingon dictionary. I've tried to learn a little Klingon, but I know the things they speak in Star Trek, like kapla and that kind of stuff. But anyways, so I'm just going to rely on Google Translate to give me my translations. So there's that. Excuse my translations if they're horrible. I just basically copied this into Google Translate. I didn't do language labels, so let me copy that. Copy. And then paste. Let's go over to Google Translate. Right? We got language and French, and it's whatever that is, langue. Okay, so let's copy that. And we'll put it there and paste it. Okay, So there's my English and my French. Okay, now this is going to fire in the after update event for that language combo box. So you ready? Save that. Let's go back over here. We're going to close the menu, open it up, and ready? Switch to French. Boom. Look at that. Right? Changes the label. You got to make sure your labels are big enough too. All right? And all your buttons are wide enough to fit these. Because I know I've noticed from doing this that a lot of French phrases are longer than the related English phrase. All right? So there's English and French. And then back to English. See that? It's really pretty straightforward to do. Okay? Let's do something similar with the formulaire client. I'm sorry, I'm murdering the pronunciation. The customer form. See, I'll be switched over to here so I can see what I'm doing. All right. Let's just change a couple things here. I'm not going to do the whole form. All right, design view. And first thing is, well, I'm going to say the first thing is make sure your labels are wide enough. So I'm going to take the widest label. I'm going to select them all, right click, and then we're going to go down to size to widest. And now they're all that wide. Okay. And then just the ones you're going to do, let's just do first name and last name. Okay. So we'll make sure these have good names. Okay. First name label. And then this guy will be, guess what? Last name label. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing, but we're not going to have a combo box on this form. So this code has to run when this form opens up or loads, either one. So go to the Forms properties, go to the Events tab, and find either on load or on open. For this particular instance, it doesn't matter which one you pick. Yeah, there's a difference. I'll be covering that in a future video. I do cover it in my developer lessons. But for you guys, yeah, we're going to cover it a little bit. I got some stuff we're going to do. So hit the ... We're going to use the onload event. Onload, on open, same thing. And we're going to do something very similar to what we did before, but this time it's going to run when this form opens. So if you want to switch the language, you got to close whatever other forms are open, go back to the main menu, switch the language, and then as you open up those forms again, they'll have the proper language in them because it'll run in the onload event. Okay? All right. So now we have to get the language setting off the main menu. So the main menu's got to stay open. All right? If you close it, then these forms won't open, right? So you got to say if forms main menu F language equals English, then else, we got French, and if. And we do the same thing in here, right? First name dot label, first name label dot caption equals first name. And again, I'll copy and paste. And there you go. There's first name label, last name label. Okay, save it. Close it, close it, close it. All right, open up the customer form. Everything looks good. Close it. Switch to French. Open it up again, and there you go. See? Now the customer form, at least the fields we did, are in French. And that's all you got to do. Now, obviously, you can do the same thing with the form caption if you want to. You can change the form captions. Okay? You can change whatever you want. Now, the data in here, that's up to you. You know, data is just data. If you got notes that you want to keep in both English and French, that's a whole nother complexity. This video is all about just changing the forms themselves so the database structure can be changed. But as far as storing the data in multi-language, well, you can use multiple fields. You know, if you're only doing French and English, you could do like a French notes and an English notes if you want to. You can use Google Translate as an API to translate on the fly, where you can click a button and it'll actually load up Google Translate. And that's a whole different video. If you really want to see how to do that, let me know. I'll show you how to do it. Post a comment down below. And obviously, if you have any message box, like error messages and stuff that come up when you click buttons, you can have to go through your code and change that too, right? If the language equals English, then give them this message box. Otherwise, give them that message box. But this is the hard part, changing all these captions. And that's what my goal was to show you today. So there you go. Now, obviously, there's more to it, right? This is actually what I showed you is actually the easier way to set it up, but it's the harder way to maintain it long term, because every time you add a field, every time you want to make a change, every time you want to add another language, you have to go in and modify all the code in all your forms. Wouldn't it be easier if you could have that stuff stored in tables? If you could have an English set of data, a French set of data, and you didn't have to go in and modify all your forms and all your VBA code every time you wanted to make a change. Well, we could do that with what I call an external strings manager. It's basically going to be a set of tables where you can put translations in. You can have your users change the translations too. Let's say you got Joe in shipping who knows Spanish. Well, you could sit Joe down and have him type in all the Spanish translations for you, and he doesn't have to go into your VBA code. Okay, so in the extended cut for the members, I'm going to show you how to set that up. We're going to use the member database first of all. Okay, we'll set up a language table. So you got your different languages in here. We'll set up an English phrase table. So this is all the phrases in English. Okay, so phrase 3 is main menu. Then we'll set up a translation table. So for each phrase and for each language, you can have a translation. So let me sort it by, so for English phrase 3, there's the 2 versions of main menu, right? Language ID 1 is English, and here you got French, and here you got Spanish. I didn't do any Klingon, sorry guys. And one thing that I've noticed is that so many French phrases and Spanish phrases are nearly identical, right? Like customer list, look at that. But anyways, you could put this all together, and then you end up with basically the same thing. But it's something you can change and modify without having to go into your VBA code. Once you build it, that's it. Then your users can actually change the translation information using just the tables. And furthermore, we're not going to have to go through and write code for each field. I'm going to show you how to go through and tag each one of these. So you could say, okay, this is field 1, this is field 2, this is field 3. Go give me a translation. Whole lot better code than what we just wrote. This code that I just showed you is fine. It's perfectly fine. It works great. It's very basic. All right, the code we're going to do in the extended cut for the members, it's the creme de la creme of code. We're going to loop through all the objects on the form fields. We're going to find every different one with the tag property. All kinds of cool stuff. Right? Unlimited languages. We're going to have a lookup table. Lots of stuff. Join. Hit that blue join button. Become a member. Silver membership's what? It's like $6 a month. It's not expensive. And you get access to all of the extended cut videos. Not just this one. All of them. Gold members can download these databases too. So you get all the code. And you get the code vault. And you get free classes every month. So what are you waiting for? Join. Come on. Get in the hot tub. The water's warm. All right. I hope you guys learned something. This has been your Tech Help video for today. My name is Richard Ross again, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and post any comments you may have. I do try to read and answer all of them as soon as I can. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, which is completely free, and click on the bell icon to select all to receive notifications when new videos are posted. Make sure you click the Show More link down below the video to find additional resources and links. You'll see a list of other videos, additional information related to the current topic, free lessons, and lots more. YouTube no longer sends out email notifications when new videos are posted, so if you'd like to get an email every time I post a video, click on the link to join my mailing list. Even if you don't want to become a member, feel free to donate to my tip jar. Your patronage is greatly appreciated and will help keep these free videos coming. I got puppies to feed. How do you become a member? Click on the Join button below the video. After you click the Join button, you'll see a list of all the different membership levels that are available, each with its own special perks. Silver members and up will get access to all of my extended cut Tech Help videos, one free beginner class each month, and more. Gold members get access to download all of the sample databases that I build in my Tech Help videos, plus my code vault, where I keep tons of different functions that I use. You'll also get a higher priority if you decide to submit any Tech Help questions to me, and you'll get one free expert class each month after you've finished the beginner series. Platinum members get all the previous perks, plus even higher priority for Tech Help questions, access to all of my full beginner courses for every subject, and one free developer class each month after you finish the expert classes. These are the full-length courses found on my website, not just for access too. I also teach Word, Excel, Visual Basic, and lots more. You can now become a Diamond sponsor and have your name or company name listed on a sponsors page that will be shown in each video as long as you're a sponsor. You'll get a shout out in the video and a link to your website or product in the text below the video and on my website. But don't worry, these free tech help videos are going to keep coming. As long as you keep watching them, I'll keep making more, and they'll always be free. Now, if you have not yet tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access. It's over 4 hours long, and I just updated it for 2021. You can find it on my website or on my YouTube channel. I'll include a link below that you can click on. And also, if you like Level 1, Level 2 is just $1. Yep, that's all, $1, and it's free for all members of my YouTube channel at any level, even supporters. Want to have your question answered in a video just like this one? Visit my tech help page on my website. You can send me your question there. While you're on my site, feel free to stop by the Access Forum. Lots of good conversations happening there. Be sure to follow my blog, find me on Twitter, and of course, YouTube. Once again, my name is Richard Ross. Thank you for watching this tech help video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned something today. I'll see you again soon.